So in this assignment, you are going to be reading two different articles and doing a compare and contrast. So although news reports generally try to be unbiased and supply just the facts, sometimes the writer's bias do creep in there. And this is different from an editorial. An editorial is where the writer does write about their bias and their opinions. So do not write about editorials. Write about news articles. There's a big difference. So in this assignment, you're going to be looking at two different news reports of the same event. And I want you to pay particular attention to how the events are reported differently depending on who is doing the reporting. This is going to be the link that gives you lots of different access to articles. So it's the same time, what you're going to do, you're going to click on that link and you're going to choose a news story that interests you. Now, it may take some time and you might have to do some hunting, but you're going to find two different articles written about the same story, preferably from different countries that probably speak English or are written in English, obviously, right? So choose something in an international news, current event realm. Read those two articles and evaluate the similarities and differences in this document, and then submit it on the next page. So make sure you take really good notes and so that you're able to complete this assignment. While you're reading these articles, I want you to think about the who, what, when, where, why, bias, and opinion. And it's a good idea to keep these as notes. So on a piece of paper, write who, what, when, why, where, bias, and opinion, and then read the first article, and then write all those different, you can just jot down all those different elements from each of the newspapers. So when you write your when you write your story comparison, you'll have all the information handy. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk you through a way to do a search for two different articles on the same event. So what I'm going to do is, obviously, I'm going to target countries that speak English more than any other language. So I'm going to go to Europe, and I'm going to go to the United Kingdoms because I know they speak English. And another thing I'm going to look for is to see whether the feature is international. You obviously want you want to look at a newspaper that is international if you're going to be looking at international events. So I'm just going to scroll down here with my eye on features, and I can see that the Guardian Weekly is international, and it is in English. So it offers a digest of 4 of the world's newspapers: The Guardian, The Observer, The Washington Post, and Le Monde. So that sounds like a good resource. And I can see that it is because it has news, U.S., world, sports. So what I'm going to do is click on U.S. And one of the top stories right now is the debt crisis that's going on and the shutdown of the government. So there's an article right there that I can click on and read, take my notes on the who, what, when, why, where, opinion, and bias. And then I'm going to pop back to the original website, and I'm going to use a US article. And so a particular newspaper that is one of the best newspapers in the country is the New York Times. And so I clicked on New York. I don't really want to hunt for it because I know it's here. And it's right there. And it has world, U.S., politics, as all the different features as well. So this is a really good newspaper to use. And so let's look for Obama and the crisis that's going on. And there's one right there. Okay, so I could click on that and read that and do that comparison again. So I could click on that see if it's similar, and do my who, what, when, where, why, and compare it to the article I read about the same event going on here in the US, but it was written in the United Kingdoms. So I could use those two as an example of how to write a story for a compare and contrast. If you have any questions, just let me know.